All right. Hello. Welcome back, everybody. We've got another week of Call of Duty ahead of you, but it's the end here soon. We're very close to the end times at this point as we have the final match of Split 2 ahead of us. It is going to be Southern Miss taking on Nicholls State. Now, if that name sounds familiar to you, it's because that team was the squad that showed up to our LAN here in October. Was it October, November?
It was,
I think
something
it was
like
first
that.
week November.
Yeah, first week of November.
And
because we had MHSA like 2 weeks after that.
Yeah, exactly. So a familiar squad. The roster did change a little bit. They changed one singular player out. It's not like they changed the whole team. They changed one player out. But speaking of roster changes, Southern Miss has also made themselves a roster change. So after the 1-1 week last week, they have ended up switching out Strahan again. This is the second time this semester it has happened, and Tyler will be taking his place, at least for this week. I don't know what the long-term plan is there for that, but at least for this week, we will again have Tyler taking on here Nicholls State. Now, we haven't seen Tyler play since week 1 of the first split. And yeah, it's been quite some time since we've seen him back on the main roster, but would like to have a good time here with him. And I will say this is probably one of the more fair matchups, or one of the more even matchups, regardless of who was playing for these two teams. Or for who was playing for this team at all. Nicholls State is 9-4, right there with Southern Miss. They're both number 5 and number 6 overall in the Southeast Deep South. Nicholls State being number 5, Southern Miss being number 6. Not really going to be a major effect in regional playoffs because if they'll probably just like swap places for whoever. If Southern Miss wins, then they'll swap places. And yeah, so I mean, it's not like it really matters that much, and that means they'll probably end up playing each other in the first round of playoffs. I don't know how the bracket's going to work, but. Or no, because it would be regional playoffs, so it would have the other Southeast division as well. So never mind. We'll figure that out, though. But we have map number 1, red card hardpoint. How often do we get to start this early? Normally I have to stall for 20 minutes, but you see the new player there for Nicholls State. It is
Babiana? Something like that. It has to be Babiana.
Yeah, Babiana. But we'll hop on board with we'll hop on board with Tyler, who takes his first engagement here, but will end up losing it 2 for 2. Time going to go to Nicholls State. The Colonials looking to get themselves to 10 wins on the season. The loser will not reach that mark unless if they win in the regional playoffs. The winner, though, will at least have double digits in the victory column. First 15 of time going to go the way of Nicholls State. Southern Miss, though, do have the rotation here for P2. Tyler on the AR. Rain on the pinch. Has 2 in his sights. Gets help from Kawa in that second engagement. So he will start his rain towards this first hill, but it will be ending here in just a moment. Rain, by the way, the superstar for Southern Miss at the moment, leading the KD column in every single mode except Search and Destroy. Has a 1.14 overall, 1.01 in hardpoint, 1.23 in S&D, 1.34 in control. He had a 40 and 20 control game last week. The kid has been a monster. On a 5 screen now is, actually it's not Rain, it's Kawa. The scoreboard just doesn't like us.
Of course. This always happens, especially like in the first or second.
My narrative was almost fulfilled, and then no, Call of Duty said, no, actually it's this guy. Thanks, Call of Duty.
Yeah.
We love you. But Nino, the one in the hill at the moment, Rain, though, slams him down, has the help over top as well from Orbsy. Everyone getting involved. Kawa, in the meantime, is rotating on through the middle of the map. Should have a pinch here onto a couple of different players. Kawa is behind one, but Nino slams him. Kawa has no right losing that gunfight. I'll be real with you. Nino just puts him down, and he gets through the hill. That's a big engagement to lose because you lose all your pressure in the middle of the map, and that allows the team to fly forward. Now, it's not a huge deal. I spoke it up like it was a huge deal. It really wasn't, but at the same time, you should not be losing that gunfight either way. And it ended up being not the worst thing in the world because they can spawn on this P3 side.
Yeah.
So it doesn't cause a disaster, but you've got to be you've got to win those gunfights. It's that simple.
Yeah, from what I know about this Nicholls State team is they are very loud. They love to get it going. And if you know Southern Miss, Orbsy is basically our only loud one, or the loudest one that we have. But this is going to be an interesting fight for them, as from what I know from your notes is that last week Nicholls State did go to Game 5 with Mississippi State, managing to get a win, which I'm pretty positive that Southern Miss won that 3-0
Pretty
against
handily.
Mississippi State. Yeah.
Pretty handily. It was not close.
Realistically, if we're looking at this stat-wise, Southern Miss should have the upper hand as Kawa does go in the back, gets one, manages to take out Craze.
That's his second 5 spree. Kawa having a very solid game 1 here, 13-5 overall, and he has been one of the better players here for Southern Miss as well. Hasn't had the worst season overall. I mean, Orbsy has been the one that's really been struggling, and you can see he's 11-8 right now. Doesn't get the sight line onto Nino, though, who is underneath the stage. We've had a back and forth hard point here, and to be fair, both teams have pretty even records. You have 1-1 for Southern Miss, 2-1 for Nicholls State, so very, very close matches overall on this map, and that's typically what you're going to get with a lot of teams, especially if they're evenly matched on red card specifically. They are going to have very close matchups. You'll see a lot of 250s, 249s, like way more than any other map I've seen. So just worth noting that while we go through the rest of this first rotation, as we are about to head into the second one, or the final hill of the first rotation. Tyler finds a rotational kill there. That should open up at least a little bit of early time for Southern Miss, and they are down by 28, so they'll need to get a good bit of time on this next hill if they want to start working their way back to a lead.
Yeah, but it's going to be pretty hard because this hill out of all of them is the hardest to hold. You know, we love our P1s on Volt, or like basically any other P1, Hacienda P1 especially. It's very open. You can get shot from multiple angles, so holding this hill is really quite hard. You will see there are 2 in the back of Rain. Rain will find one, gets traded out. Tyler will collect the trade. Babiana gets traded out by Tyler, and that's 2 of them on hill, both of them getting shot out by Nino. I mean, trades galore coming off from both teams. No one's been able to keep the hill. However, Nicholls State hasn't even managed to cap it.
A bit of a misplay there from Orbsy and Tyler, but at the end of the day, it's not the end of the world either, because you're looking to rotate here into P1, and they have mid control, which is very beneficial for this first hill. As you can see, it's kind of in a really awkward spot. Nino gets ripped out a ticket by Tyler, has another one under him, but does not see him. So Orbsy will have to hold it down with Rain for the time being, and they've again gotten that P2 side of the map held down, and that is massive for getting time not only on this hill but securing the P2, which can be a money hill if you get the right spawns. Tyler, now the last one here for Southern Miss, at least for just a second, but the reinforcements do find their way through. Nino, you're gonna shoot that trophy. You're not getting bullets under it. I hate to tell you that, but regardless, it doesn't really matter when they can't see you anyways. He has to slide through, does get a kill, traded out by Kawa, and it looks like we have 3 AR setup here from Southern Miss. Orbsy, Kawa, and Tyler all running the ARs, and that's not a huge issue on red card, but at the same time, when Rain is having a bad game, which is the first time ever we are seeing him have a bad game, 9-16, it is going to make things so much tougher when you can't have that constant pressure.
Yeah, no, 100%. And from what I know, Tyler is also a really good sub player. Orbsy being really the only one that I see really being the AR player. As we know, Kawa is absolutely nasty when he plays for sub, doing really good right now, 21-14 on AR. So nothing I can really say about that. And you do see Tyler only has 5 seconds of hill time, mainly going to Rain and Orbsy for that hill time. So he's playing a little bit more passively, holding the lanes, and so far they're doing a great job keeping this hill in place.
Yeah, and they're holding the spawn trap as well. It said Orbsy had a 5-kill streak. It was actually Rain, and as I mentioned, he was having a bad game. He was 9-16. He's 17-16 now. He is on an 8 spree. The kid can play, and he is continuing to prove that. Nearly 10, 55 in hill, and he is ripping apart Nicholls State, and this is where you start to need to build your lead. That was a massive hold on P2. Now you're holding them in the last player in that back spawn was Nino for Nicholls State, and now Southern Miss have the spawns, they have the map pressure, they have the 10 streak. Rain, Kawa ripping apart Nicholls State here in map 1.
Oh my goodness, Rain on the 10 streak, 19-16. I mean, this is a Cinderella story. Southern Miss right now just absolutely tearing into Nicholls State. You will see Rain's on a 13 streak.
And they know exactly where they're spawning. They know exactly where they're spawning. This is a perfect trap, but Rain, finally the streak ends, but it doesn't end until it hits 13, halfway to a nuke. Even that, up by 40. Orbsy gunning it down to 23 and 20. Not a crazy stat line by any means, but considering his KD overall is a 0.74 right now, his hardpoint KD is a 0.66. He is having a great time right now.
Yeah. Now, I would like to say all of Southern Miss has 20 kills. The only one not positive is Tyler, and barely just 1 kill off of being positive. But they're playing beautifully. I mean, so fluid. They're playing together almost perfectly. And it is 167 to 144. And they are just absolutely shredding into Nicholls State right now. I mean, almost nothing that Nicholls State can do.
Yeah, and Kawa's pulled the sub back out. I would agree with that decision. May have only pulled the AR out for like a hill or two, because there's certain hills where you will have someone switch to have that third one, as that's another 5 streak. That's a third one of the game for Kawa. He is 30 and 17, having a monstrous game himself. Orbsy with a minute 22 on time. Everyone finding a way to contribute, and maybe the roster switch was better than what we saw on paper, because I had a lot of questions coming into this series about it, and it looks like as of right now it's proven to be at least quite beneficial. But we also have to consider the competition of who they were playing compared to what we were seeing with Strahan. You're competing against top 25 rosters. Now you're playing against Nicholls State, who nearly was like 2 rounds away from losing to Mississippi State last week.
Yeah. Now, during the LAN, Nicholls State actually did make it pretty far in the
they're
bracket
like top
run.
6 or something like that.
Yeah, and it's honestly surprising to see them playing like this, because Southern Miss was taken out pretty early on in LAN, and now, I mean, well, we did pick up 2 new players, but still, it's almost like Nicholls State has gotten barely any better just from what I'm watching.
Yeah, and finally, Nicholls State trying to get some control back, but you have let this lead build to 53 points. You're going to need more than just the scrap time on this P5 if you want to come back in this game. Kawa had a good fight there in Ticket, but Shakesy rips a double. That's going to be huge. Tries to make it a triple. Nino will clean it up. Tyler's the only one grabbing a kill for Southern Miss, but that is a very critical one, as that was the player that was in the next hill. But Babiana is now up top trying to find this player. I believe that was Tyler there, but I think he got cleaned up, and that's 3 dead in the kill feed. This is a good start here to this third rotation if you are Nicholls State, but you're going to need to get this time and get the spawns for P2, which is what they've done. At the same time, though, we saw Southern Miss didn't have the spawns after the first wave of kills for that next hill. Rain rips that player off of Ticket in the hill. That was Nino. Did not get a clean fight there. And everyone from Southern Miss still finding ways to contribute. Tyler, 24 and 25, not having the craziest game, but his engagements are at least there. Rain 33 and 25, Kawa 32 and 24. They are essentially having a battle for who can have the better hard point right now. And I mentioned earlier, hey, let's talk about Orbsy too. He's in that fight too. He's 33 and 29. I mean, everyone having a good game, but it really doesn't matter what your KDs are if you're not completing the time. They have not gotten a second in the past 2 hills. They need to get back into this game. They are starting to maybe fly a little too hard, and that's causing them to lose out on a lot of time, lose out on a lot of gunfights where they were collectively getting kills, collectively getting the time, getting the setups proper, and finally they have found a way to break back in the hill. Only need 20 seconds if you are Southern Miss, and if you can start trading things out, you have 25 left on this hill. You should be a-okay to win it here, but you may need that rotation at this point, as it's a little too close. You need 17, and yeah, you'll have to rotate now over to the next hill. And Nicholls State have also eclipsed that 200-point mark. We are in for a slammer of a final score hill.
Yeah, Nicholls State has been doing pretty good. I mean, call it knifing craze. That's actually kind of crazy. But we will see. Nicholls State now will rotate. Southern Miss didn't even rotate. It seems like, I mean, all of their players besides Kawa is at the point now. Only 1 out, and Southern Miss.
That's a huge break. That is a massive break. Only 1 player really to make a play, and that is Shakesy. He gets shake and baked all the way to the death screen. Now 20 points 9-point lead for Southern Miss. Need 9 more points to win this game. You know where they're spawning. Nino, last player that really has a good chance here. Actually, number 8 does as well. That's going to be Shakesy again. Southern Miss just need to get the time, and if they can get the time, they can close out this map. You know where they're at. This should be ball game.
Yep, Rain just has to finish it out, yeah, and they're all on point. Southern Miss will take that win. What a beautiful win. Can't draw it up more myself. 250 to 222. My guess is Rain has this final kill cam.
I mean, the kid went on a 13 streak. What more can you say? Orbsy, though, will take the best play. You see him here, 38 and 30. Let me remind you, he had a .66 hardpoint KD in hardpoint. I said that twice, but I need to make that.
That was actually Rain.
39 and 29. Yeah, I don't know why it said Orbsy. It was actually
because
Rain.
it's broken, yeah.
Yeah, 36 and 33 regardless from Orbsy. Everyone with 30 plus. I mean, almost everyone in the lobby with 30 plus, so take that as you will. But a just massive game there from Southern Miss. And, well, sometimes you need to up your game. And what better way to up your game than with a scuff? The Envision just now being released a few weeks ago, and I've got one here. You've got the G buttons 1 through 5. You can map them to anything you want to, and you've got the mechanical buttons too as well for the D-pad. You can even hear them in the microphone.
Not sponsored.
For the faceplace as well. But you know who is? College COD. Go to scuff.com, get yourself an Envision. They're on sale right now. Use code College Call of Duty, College COD at checkout, and you can get yourself 15% off. So huge shout outs to them for getting the partnership done. The Envision and the Envision Pro even got 4 paddles on the back if you really need them. I only need 2 because that's how I roll with these controllers. But, you know, it's always nice to go get yourself a scuff and up your game.
Oh my goodness. That was probably the best ad read you could have done. You don't even have a script.
Don't need it.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Now we will move into map number 2 here, which is...
We love it.
Unfortunately, we must report that map 2 is Vault Search and Destroy, otherwise known as A-Bomb Simulator.
This map is the same thing. The defending team chucks grenades over to poolside, and the attacking team just runs cat and jumps down. I mean, it's the same. It's the same thing. Unless they want to be a little goofy and go B, but there's always someone top cat or top gold to watch them. It's not.
It's run to A bomb, get the rock down, and hope you get the trade battle win. It's just a trade battle. That's all it is. You just have to win trades.
Yep.
And I wish I could say like it's consistent. It's not. It's literally just who wins the trades. I mean, Southern Miss sitting at 1-0 on the map overall in the entire season, and they played it last week. For Nicholls State, it's 1-2. It's not like anyone has played this a lot because no one wants to play this map. But speaking of SND, Rain leads the way in plants. In fact, he is one of 2 players who has planted the bomb for Southern Miss. Now, with Tyler in the roster, it's going to change up a little bit because Tyler's typically a big player when it comes to planting the bomb and playing the objective. Mm-hmm. So it may switch up a little bit. Rain has 15 plants. Orbsy has 1.
Yeah.
And that's literally their plant breakdown right now.
Yeah. I doubt it's going to switch off because you mentioned Tyler being objective player. He did not have that much hill time.
I think he had maybe a minute.
Yeah. So... it may not. It just depends. But Kawa will get an early kill. Rain taking out Shakesy. And now it's just...
Who won the trades?
Kawa took down Nino and Rain took out Shakesy.
You can't even say who won the trades because there was no trade.
Oh.
There was no trades.
Well, true.
It was 2 kills for Southern Miss in the A-bomb site. No one was watching over that plant because they just didn't get there in time. Orbsy, though, tries to get into that back spawn, and Craze will cut him down for it, but now he's being hunted by 2 Southern Miss players. You have to be careful here. You don't want to force this fight when you don't really need to. you have the intel on where he's at. Tyler, the shoulder wasn't perfect, but it was good enough. Babina not going to win that fight with Kawa. All down to Grays. Last player alive, 1v3, and the bomb is sitting right next to A, and Kawa's ripping you off the heady. Your life is about over.
He's not even gonna do anything.
You can't. You're stuck. You know you're stuck in here. Every door is just watched, and here comes Kawa. And he is taking you down, slip and slide. The Sharks, very well known for that type of movement. 1-0 Southern Miss.
Yeah, I mean, he put himself up there too, which is the crazy part. And you literally got circled by Sharks.
Sharks in the water, sharks on land. I've seen both occur. Not in real life, though. I've never seen a shark in real life.
I was like, if you saw a shark on land, was it dead?
Well, no, but it was like a video of a shark just hanging out. And you're seeing one right there. But speaking of the land shark in Kawa, he does have the highest S&D KD on this roster. I believe it's a 1.33 coming into this game, and Rain right behind him at a 1.23. So take that as you will, and look at that. The A-bomb has been planted. Now you sit in here and hope you win the trades, although Babina will get the first blood onto Orbsy. Orbsy typically is the one that plays that back spawn, and he's been struggling to win that battle. But for Southern Miss, you have two players sitting in A, hoping you can get a kill and get away with your life. There comes the nade, doesn't do enough damage. Shakesy will take Tyler off the shoulder. Kawa going to be a huge player here, but it's a 1v4, not going to be able to get the work done. 18 seconds, so plenty of time to defuse, and Nicholls State will respond.
Yeah, Southern Miss chopped down. Only managed to get one, and even then, that was on the wrap with Kawa. It's just not what you want to see, but this is not what I personally expected. Usually whenever you get the plant on A, it's basically like a free win. But for some reason, Nicholls State managed to get the kills off of all.
It's not a free win
players.
for anybody. It's literally a win for whoever wins trades. Like, it is an actual 50-50.
Yeah.
Like, yes, the A-bomb gets planted like 90% of the time, but that doesn't mean anything for who wins the round. It's literally just who wins trades. And I know I sound like a broken record, but you're watching it happen live. You watch the Pro League, you see the same thing happen. Tyler Kawa, two-piece off the rip, just like round number 1. And the bomb is again down in A site. Who knew that this map was so damn predictable?
Yeah, and whenever you're Shakesy and you're going down there, you need to win the trade or the gunfight with Kawa, or else, it's just round over. It's crazy. The last one remaining yet again, and there's 4 Southern Miss players watching every part of the map. There's no way. And you've got Kawa, the absolute search and destroy beast that he is. Did he think that he could shoot through that wall?
You can, I believe, but as best worded by one of the best COD players of all time, Attach, you cannot wallbang that, Attach, but Craze doesn't matter. Kawa chases it, will not get the kill, but it is traded out quite quickly, as Orbsy will be the one to get the final kill. Now a 2-1 advantage for Southern Miss. They have offense next. What do we think's gonna happen?
A-bomb. The Rain likes to run towards top cat to dodge the nades, and he keeps that momentum going through because the nades will never hit inside that top cat. They always land.
Just hope you don't slide too far and hit the diving board. Otherwise, you're flinging yourself into their spawn. And if you do, well, you're probably dead.
Yep, and Rain just immediately jumping through. Craze will pick up the kill off of Kawa. However, Craze will pick up the kill off Kawa.
And Orbsy stays alive. Nino almost would have been stuck with a donut there still. It's 2v2. Bomb is planted, but you do have spawn control if you are Nicholls State. These two players, as long as they play hand in hand, which they're relatively doing, that's Tyler and Rain, as Rain has been singled out now down into pool. good eyes from Tyler. Spots up player top cat. Now you have all the intel you need. You can just kind of roam around. You don't have a lot of time left. Rain with a massive kill onto Craze. That's going to be the round. Nino not going to have the time to get both kills. Doesn't even get the first. So Southern Miss 3-1.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. I mean, I don't even know what to say. Rain absolutely shredding. Absolutely shredding. The callouts too. I mean, I'm pretty sure Tyler knew where Nino was. The callouts are perfection.
So we did see Kawa lose that first engagement, which is something at least this split has been somewhat rare. Kawa's currently 8-4 in those first engagements. At least I say currently before this map being played. 8-4 in first engagements. Rain sitting at 5-4 right behind him. And then Strahan and Orbsy are even. 3-3 for Strahan, Orbsy 5-5. So either way, it's about a 1.0 in those. Kawa looking to take the first engagement here once again. See if he can win it this time around. But there's a nade right at your foot. And he does throw it back, but that's going to end up costing him his life. Nino will pick up the kill.
Yeah.
You get a little lucky there that your trophy system is ready to go.
I know. If that was the first round, that would have been a perfect play. However, they did have a trophy system. Rain losing that gunfight with Craze, but Tyler will get the trade-off. However, it is now a 1v3 for Tyler. Can he do it? He knows that there's one in the back. Babiana spots him, and I mean, he jumped out at the wrong time. COD timing is insanely sad.
Yeah, I mean, 1v3 in that situation as well. Not a lot of time to work with, so you don't have much of a chance to really win that round if you are Tyler, but still have a lead here for Southern Miss. 3 more, and you'll take game number 2 and have yourself a 2-0 lead heading into the Control, which Control has been their worst mode this semester. They are 1-3 overall in the splits, not in the semester, in the splits on the mode, so has not been smooth sailing whatsoever there. And Rain being the only one with a positive KD in that mode, you certainly want to have the 2-0 lead to bounce, to really lean on, especially knowing how that first hardpoint went. Orbsy first blood onto Craze, and guess what? The bomb is getting planted on A, and Southern Miss are 3-stacked in A site. Actually, sorry, they're not. Actually, I think they are. It's really hard to tell with the minimap. But Orbsy shakes the awkward gunfight for both. Orbsy, though, picks up a sub and goes for it. Tries to Omni move in his way to the ace, but he will get chopped down. Nino, last player left alive, and this round is certainly going to be number 4 for Southern Miss. Orbsy, I respect the chow because you absolutely should be going for that when you have 3 kills on the round and you know you have been slamming today. Although the Omni movement not going to do enough for you. Would have been picture perfect, but the picture has been crumpled up and thrown away. 4 seconds on the clock. You can't win the round. Nino just going to stay alive this time. And Southern Miss 4-2 up.
Yup. I mean, playing your life there is pretty good. You only have a kill. And the only thing that, I mean, if we think about the way that these rounds have gone, you're more than likely not even going to be able to get the RC car. But hey, playing your life, you are on a 2 streak. I'm pretty sure RC is 4 or 5? 4?
I think it's 4, yeah.
So you could do it. Yeah, it's 4. I saw.
You can see that.
But
I mean, maybe the progress bar also lies to us. Who knows? We don't know anymore.
this point-
You can't trust like half the things this game says, dude. As Kawa is going to be ramming into the bottom side of Vault. Doesn't really, I don't like the way he chows that. It just doesn't end up working out for him anyways, but it's kind of tough to win that gunfight. I'm not saying that he could have absolutely won it because he probably couldn't have, but he just chows it in a really awkward way and he gets cut down immediately. It's all down to Rain in a 1v3. Trigger discipline, not good enough. Now Craze has spotted him, tagged him up, sitting at 6 HP, throwing a lot of shoulders though, but he's still stuck at no health. 3 now, 2. He is literally 1 bullet for about half that engagement. Nothing he could do. And it will be 3-4. Southern is still in the lead, and if they keep trading rounds, they'll be just fine.
yep, they will. I just feel like they keep getting caught by this backman sitting on palms, while they're jumping into pool, and it's just ruining them. I mean, Orbsy died to Craze while doing it,
And those first engagements in Vault are very critical, and it just constantly losing them on defense. Just go for a different strat at that point. Like you're doing the same thing over and over, and I think we all know what the definition of insanity is, which it's not quite to that point, but it's getting very close. Like you see how Nicholls State isn't triple challenging it, and they're at least giving themselves a chance in the mid to late round to win. As Nino picks up the gunfight in the back over towards Palms onto Orbsy. Rain will TK Kawa, and now it's a 2v4. You're fish in a barrel, and the barrel has been just obliterated with a hammer. And 3 seconds after the map or after the bomb gets planted, it's immediately getting defused. So that's how you win right there in Vault.
I don't get why they're 3-stacking on bomb in Volt. They don't. You don't. One, that I mean, you're literally fish in a barrel. Like
Kawa, by the most in the most literal sense, is
yeah,
because he's using a shark. So I mean, yeah, if natural habitat is water, and you know you're kind of stuck in one, and when you're in a barrel, it's even worse because you can't really move around a lot.
yeah, and like whenever Nicholls State is on offense, you have 2 jump into Volt, which is I'm pretty sure it's been Shakesy and Nino this entire time. But oh, a switch up here from Nicholls State. They are going to B bomb.
You know, I'm happy that they're at least attempting this. Orbsy will be the one to get first blood though. Takes out Nino. That was their lurk, and their player all the way in the back spawn is immediately dead. So this B push is probably going to be all for naught. Tyler, though, will get cut down. Shakesy escapes. Babina evens it out to a 2v2, so this is still winnable. Bomb hasn't been planted yet. 50 seconds on the clock. Shakesy and Babina are kind of split here. At the same time, though, they're not in a bad position, especially considering when you look at where Rain and Kawa are placed, the 2 new players on the roster this semester, trying to make something happen. Rain doesn't win the gunfight against Shakesy, got tagged up previously, and that's what's going to cost him there. If he doesn't, likely wins that one and makes it a 2v1 in the other direction. Now it's all down to Kawa in a 1v2.
Yeah, and he looked away right as Shakesy was going to plant. It's not looking good. They're just going to sit top gold and wait for him to chow. Kawa's going to have to move decently fast here. He's only got 30 seconds to take them both out, but I don't know. He's trying to shoot Babiana, doesn't manage, does take out Shakesy. Babiana not jumping on him.
I mean, I understand that play, but you know exactly where they're at, and you just got to go at this point. You don't have a lot of time left, and you have lost this round, unfortunately, if you're Kawa. 7.5 to defuse, didn't even get to the bomb in time. Good play from Babiana. Regardless, good play there. Very patient, knows not to, well, okay, I'll use the term that every player is going to say in their comms, knowing not to tweak and chow when you don't need to. You just play the time. There's very minimal left. You just sit there, force that engagement to come to you, and even if you lose the gunfight, you still force them to have to run all the way back to the bomb, which sometimes don't really get the time to do. So 5-4, Nicholls State made the comeback 1 round away, and they will take this game. It's been, what, 3 or 4 straight now from Nicholls State. They are showing their prowess here in Search and Destroy. They have been pretty solid at the mode overall. I believe they're 10-5 as Shakesy gets a free first blood. Who is watching over pool? It seems like nobody. That feels like a very basic play. As I saw an RC car, I believe that's going to be one of Nicholls State's, and they may be able to just get these players out of pool by using it, as Craze might not even need to, as he finds Orbsy. Kawa should be traded out. Here he is. Tyler now stuck in a 1v2, subbed him in for this week. Can he make a huge play? Can he be an impact player? No, he'll die to the RC car, and that will be map 2. Nicholls State coming back and taking it over Southern Miss.
Dude, there is no way. That wasn't even the RC car. That was just his frag.
Now, map 4 is Skyline Hardpoint, so I can't say I'd be the most worried if I'm Southern Miss, but you realistically need to look at this vault as your main source here for a control. You need to win this map 3. I think this map 3 is going to determine who wins the series. Like, if Nicholls State wins it, they go to 5 and win in 5. If Southern Miss wins it, they win 4. So really a crucial game here for both squads. Now, Southern Miss sitting at 4-2 overall on the season on this map. I know earlier I said they're 1-3 in control. That's just for the split. In the season overall on vault control, they are 4-2 with a +9 round count. And for Nicholls State, they are 3-2 overall on the map. So very even stats for Southern Miss, or for these two teams here, as we get ready to gear up for our control. I don't know who's going to have offense first. I don't know who's doing what, but I believe we may have a short break between. So we'll head over to a 5-minute break as we get ready to go here for map number 3. That's going to be vault control. Nicholls State, Southern Miss tied up 1-1. And we are back, game number 3, as we are tied up in our series 1-1 overall. As Southern Miss had in that S&D, they were up, I think, 4-2. It wasn't 4-1, I know that much, but you've now got a control where you've been struggling this split. They did win their most recent one, though, as they ended up taking a 3-0 on this very map over Kaiser Navy. So they may have that dog in them here in the third on the vault, but it's not a great break off. You've only gotten 1 kill and your opponents have gotten all 4.
Yep, and they will be defending this with their life. Orbsy will pick up Craze, but not looking very good. A stun check by Nino. Kawa manages to find Babiana, does get traded out by Shakesy, and again, another trade by Orbsy. Now, they will be stacking on this point, hopefully to get the first tick. And it does look like Craze is actually trying to wrap them. Very smart. I don't think any one of Southern Miss are looking behind. Orbsy does manage to win that gunfight and then picks off Craze in the back. There is one that jumps on him, Rain, saving his life. Then they will cap A. Now to move on to B. Some might say the harder point to cap. It just depends on if you can get them to spawn a little bit out, but we will see how Southern Miss managed to do this.
Yeah, and I mean, they've at least gotten that 8-point captured. That's something they've kind of struggled with, getting consistent ticks. That's really been one of their biggest struggles. They go to kills a lot of the time on both their offenses and their defenses. It's just not ideal, but here you're seeing them look to get to this stack. Rain, a huge win over inside of the middle building. Now Kawa has a big engagement to win with Shakesy, unable to win that one. And Shakesy actually finds a second onto Tyler, so Rain will have to step up and try and play his life here, looking for that second tick. Tyler not able to watch over him, so he will fall to the nade. Second tick still captured though. Here comes Kawa, now the front man, but gets taken out by Orbsy. Southern Miss should be able to get the second tick, or his third tick, though, as long as they can stack. Orbsy trying to hold forward a little bit far, and there's a player in mid as well. That's Rain. This should be the round for Southern Miss, as they are just holding these players and spawn 6 captures. And Southern Miss, hot start to control.
That is insane.
They've had to have been hearing me talk so much garbage on them for the past like 2 weeks, right? Surely. I ripped into them on stream last week, and I hope they heard me, because it really looks like they have.
Yeah, I mean, the beginning was a little rocky, but I mean, just absolutely mowed them down, mowed Nicholls States down. It didn't even look like they broke a sweat.
No, that first that first wave of kills did go Nicholls State way, but I mean, after that, Southern Miss just turned on a switch somewhere in the back panel of the lighting board, and they managed to find exactly what they wanted on the map. First blood to Nino, second blood to Craze, third to Shakesy, and fourth to Shakesy as well. A triple for him, and Nino getting involved too. That should be at least the first couple ticks of progress over to Nicholls State. We may have ourselves an offensive control.
Yeah, which would be absolutely crazy, but I mean, 2 kills off Southern Miss, 3. It's not looking too good. Nino, the only one left. Kawa unable to get the wallbanes to take him out. So we will have to see. Kawa will throw a nade up top, trying to make sure that they don't push through. Kawa managing to take out Rain. There's 2 coming through the mid doors. Rain able to take off one, backs off, and Tyler takes the kill. I don't know what to say.
Good fundamental play here from Southern Miss. They're looking much more collective as a team right now, and I don't know what has essentially caused that, but they look much better than they have in the previous couple of weeks in this split. Now, at the end of the day, the results aren't a huge deal. They still mean something, of course. You still want to win games at the end of the day, but you have confirmed that you have confirmed that regional playoff berth, so you at least are just mainly playing for seeding. But having the momentum going into these next few weeks is massive. You see the first capture for a point there for Nicholls State. And we'll get all 3 in that one. 3-man advantage as well. They're going to look to rotate over to B. Southern Miss, though, have a player top art, have a player pushing out through Van. Actually, 2 players pushed out through Van. One more watching the full wrap around. Orbsy shots not quite connecting, as Shakesy will get away to bottom vault. 4 players stacked in mid again. Kawa, though, will be there to read it. Now has to wait for the rest of the team to get ready to take these engagements. And they're doing just that. Babina all the way in the back spawn. Shakesy on a 5 spree now. Need to find these 2 players, especially Babina, who's sitting in your top P4. But then again, if you manage to kill the rest of the team of Nicholls State, it really doesn't matter. Although we are seeing the lives start to become a factor. Good shots from Orbsy, ripping that player out of P4. That's a huge power position to lose if you are Nicholls State, but you may be able to just run it down into their spawn if you can win the gunfights, that is, and you're not doing that. All the kills going to Rain. That's a 3-piece for him. And you have 17 seconds, and you're coming off spawn. Southern Miss may have just turned this round on its head at the very last moment.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta be safe though, as Nicholls State did just manage to break through everyone basically.
It's a good nade from Rain.
And they are capping it. No respawns remaining for Nicholls State, so if they die, I mean, it's over.
And that's 2 off of B. That should be the round. 3 seconds. Rain is awaiting the push, and last player is on the point. That's only 4 ticks for Nicholls State. So if you guys are keeping track at home like I am, Southern Miss, 2-tick advantage if we go to round 5, but we may not even have a round 4.
I genuinely do not think that we will. I mean, the way that Southern Miss has been playing, I mean, we've seen him, like, Rain will take a challenge, take one out, another one will jump, and he'll just back off and allow his teammate to take that man, and they get the trades. I mean, they're playing beautifully.
I said it earlier. They look much more collected as a team here. Tyler, there's no way he's only 9-9. I'm pretty sure that's just cooked. No, it's not. He is actually 9-9. It just throws me off seeing a player not have that many engagements like that. But I guess when the rest of your teammates are combining for, 44 kills, it's a little bit different. I guess you could say the same thing about Nina, but Nina still has 14 deaths. First blood will go to Southern Miss. Trades, though, are going to be abound, as they always are in the early bits of control. Looks like they're going to try to get to this 8-point first, but you have 2 players stacked in Cat, I believe. That's going to be Babina. We'll get a 2-piece, then falls. Craze picking up a 3rd, so only 1 up for Southern Miss. That's Rain. Trying to get this player out of the A site. Shots are really shaky, but finally we'll get that kill. Does take down Shakesy as well with the pistol. Needs to reload the Jackal, and also gonna take out the pistol, get a 3rd. Why not? Tyler gets that final player, so now you can stack this 8-point, and they are gonna do just that. That's first tick gone. The pinch now gonna come through for number 7. Huge pinch from Nino. Needs to find more than just 1 kill. Will not. Only gets 1. But that is enough time for the reinforcements to at least make this capture go a lot slower. Killing spree for Rain. I know it showed just a dash. It's because number 64 doesn't exist on a map, at least in the sense of spectating. Kawa, huge gunfight win there. Now going to give Southern Miss even more map control. Gets a 2nd as well. Barely put any bullets into him. Grabs that 2nd tick. And Southern Miss going to look to get the 3rd. 4-life advantage. And Southern Miss should be able to capture the 8-point as long as they can get this trade. And they do just that. 8-point secured. 3 more ticks or 14 more kills. And you have yourself a 3-0 control win.
Yeah. And like I said, it's not looking good. I have no idea where Nino was going. I mean, hiding in the open, buddy, that's not going to work. But Nicholls is going to have to play some crazy defense right now. And they're closing the gap of kills right now. 14-13. Craze sitting in the top. Nicholls State's playing really good defense.
Shakesy, though, is a little suspicious, and he has good reason to be, as Kawa's in the back spawn. But when you're stuck chasing for him, you're going to get shot in the back, as Rain gets great coverage, immediately traded out. But that's going to allow his other 2 teammates, Tyler and Orbsy, to push onto the point. Kawa's still in the back spawn, finally traded out. Shakesy also going to have a lot of work ahead of him on point. First tick captured, 8 lives, though. This one will probably come down to lives before it comes down to ticks. 8v9, Southern Miss have a good opportunity here to close this one down. Rain pops a 2-piece. That's unacceptable for Shakesy and Babina, getting cooked on down. Rain will just again hop on point, force these players out. Player top art, Craze, getting gunned by Tyler. Now awaiting the shots. Craze, though, just staying alive. Shakesy wins a huge one. 4v5, Southern Miss no respawns. Basically the same situation if you're Nicholls State. 20 seconds on the clock, and Tyler cut down out for the count. This may be a round here for Nicholls State. Nino just trying to stay alive, unable to. 11 seconds, you need to hop on point. Rain has done that. Now, getting this capture has made it 3v3, 2v3. Rain does get cut off point, so you need to slide on, and this is going to be a very tough position for Southern Miss.
Yep, and Kawa's trying to pre-fire. Volt doesn't end up finding anybody, and Orbsy doesn't check bottom Volt.
I mean, you were pinched there regardless, so you're not winning that fight either way, but we will have ourselves a round 4. Kawa sitting at 20-20 here. You're going to get the best play, at least for this round. Southern Miss finish out with 10 ticks total. You're going to need all 6 if you want to have a chance here for Nicholls State, but if you have tied ticks, it goes down to kills, and as far as I'm aware, Southern Miss are winning that kills department. You'd have to obliterate in this round and get all 6 ticks. And never mind.
DC question mark? Or because Shakes is just
We
gone.
will rerun it with a 2-1 round count for Southern Miss.
What happened?
Saw this happen before, and Southern Miss ended up losing the map, so maybe getting a little bit of restart cheese here, getting into the final round. What could be the final round here? Southern Miss will be on defense here before we head to round number 5. But for now, we'll have to await the restart of the lobby.
I mean, come on. He better have DC'd. He better have DC'd.
I mean, that's literally what happened. So
You never know. You never know.
I mean, there are people that will just mid-match go walk over to the Ethernet cords and just yoink one out because, you know.
Yeah, I'm a Rocket League player. That happens all the time.
It does happen more often than what it probably should, but that's not really our deal to handle.
No.
So we will hand things on over to the break as we wait to get the lobby restarted. We will be back in just a little bit when we have the final rounds of Control. Southern Miss with a 2-1 lead as we get ready to head into the restart. Catch you guys in a bit.
And we're back in it. Southern Miss will have 2-1 map count. They will be round count. My
Close
bad.
enough.
But they will be
If we win this round, it'll be a
attacking.
2-1 map count.
They'll be defending.
They will be defending here in round number 4, and Southern Miss will have 10 ticks in total. So if Nicholls State are able to get the 6 ticks that they need to tie it up, well, it typically would go to kills, but I think you just play it out where Southern Miss has offense. So I don't think there's any reason to even realistically try and figure that out because you'd have to count the kills from last map. But for now, you've got the reset cheese, and it's going very good here for Nicholls State as they have gotten 2 ticks already over towards the B site, looking to make it all 3 in company. Tyler, last one to really get a chance at a player here on this B site. Babina, only one there, doesn't get the capture. Craze now in the spawn. The pacing, the rotation is starting to go Nicholls State's way, but Rain and Kawa have something to say about it, so they're going to have to find a way to close this one down. Don't want to see that round 5 if you don't have to.
Nope. If Nicholls State would have actually managed to cap B there, they were in a perfect position, but they didn't, and now it's going to be a little bit difficult. But
I mean, A is the easier point to capture here, so having 2 ticks alone is huge for your attack, especially now you can just rotate over to A. Tyler will get the better of Shakesy in that engagement. Rain will find Babina, but while that's going down, progress is being captured onto A. Kawa trying to deal with this player on B, but that's 2 massive kills. If you're Orbsy, you just have to win this engagement. If not, just keep him off the time, but you get cut down immediately as well. Things are getting a little out of hand. They are not controlling the situation very well. They are just throwing themselves at these fights, and it's not really coordinated too well. They are at least basically tied in the life count, and we're nearly at the end of the round solely because of how fast these gunfights have been coming in. 11 to 12. Neither point captured. 30 seconds on the clock, but 2 ticks on both sides.
Yeah, Southern Miss is going to have to play this generally. Nino's shooting ghosts. I mean, literally shooting at nobody. This is not looking good for Nicholls State here, even with the amount of lives that you had. Right when you jump onto either point, you're going to get absolutely shredded. Tyler will find one, Kawa finds another, and now they just spawn trap you.
But yeah, and this is it. That's game. That's ball game right there. Only one player in a position to even touch a hill, but they are immediately traded, and there is no way for Nicholls State to get this one, and they will close it out in a 3-1 map victory there. Reset Cheese will simply be spoiled. Southern Miss now 2-1 map count as we head into Skyline Hardpoint. I think it's ending in 4.
Yeah, no, I agree. Skyline Hardpoint, love Skyline. Skyline is a great map. I know a lot of players don't like it, but it's enjoyable, especially the hardpoints are really good. There's a lot of good positions that you could put yourself offensively, and knowing Southern Miss,
yeah, I was going to say, and we are going to stay with that for a second. Just make sure we get the scoreboard on screen. I have to do the stats, and it's very annoying to have to add them together because someone crashed and then we only played 1 round. But there you go. If you want to see the stats in that round, 11-5 for Tyler. So a huge one there for the re-swapping of Tyler and Strahan. He's been having a great series so far and continuing to show out right now. But as we head into map number 4, Skyline Hardpoint, Southern Miss in a great position here. Just allow Rain to do his thing and run it around, and they'll be A-okay. Skyline 1-1 for Southern Miss, plus 29 score differential, and 3-1 if you are Nicholls State. So certainly 2 teams that have experience on the map, but Nicholls State so far looking pretty all right on it. I'd have to take a look again through my notes to see what teams they have played against on that map. But for now, we have to await to get into the lobby here for Skyline Hardpoint.
Yep, but as I was saying, the points on Skyline, if you can get a good defensive position, covering your lanes, making sure you have that anchor, you're going to be perfectly fine. I mean, this map is not hard to win.
It's not a hard map in general. It's very simple. It's probably the simplest map in the game. Like Vault S&D is very simple, but at the same time, it's just very simple to play Skyline. You've essentially got 2 lanes you need to watch. You need to watch the pool side. You need to watch the kitchen side, and you rotate based on that. P1, you're looking to get P2 spawns, which is over towards top office. Then in top office, you have 1 player sit in hill, 1 player watch that top bridge. Then you get someone towards the kitchen side. You get someone towards the pool side which is usually by piano, like in the back behind the piano, to get that head glitch going. And then when you're going to P3, you're in kitchen, so you're looking to start pushing out that P4 spawn. Nothing too crazy there either. It's all quite simple. It's, again, probably the simplest map in the entire game. Very fundamental as well. I mean, Red Card's probably more fundamental than Skyline, I would say, but realistically, it's not really that complicated. I mean, you got 2.5 lanes. You don't even, it's like 2.5 men. You got 2.5 of them. You don't even have a full third lane. You have a full third person.
Yep. But hopefully we can get into this match soon. I don't know if Shakesy's still dealing with some internet issues, but we will see. Now, I'm expecting a slam out from Southern Miss on this map. This map is very SMG heavy, unlike Red Card, where you see sort of more of an AR meta. Skyline, if you have an SMG and you know the movement spots where you can just sit and even like glide around, it's going to be crazy. And judging by how Kawa and Rain have been playing, it's not going to be difficult for them.
Yeah, a lot of the times on red, there's a bunch of times on red card where we would swap to Kawa, and we would see it like a 3AR setup. And I say swap to Kawa because he's been running a sub primarily, so it's really been 3 ARs there. It's going to be the exact opposite here. You're going to likely see 3 subs. Sometimes you'll see a 2-2, and in this case with this team, you can see a 2-2, as you're seeing here with Kawa. It does have a sub out. Craze, first blood onto Rain, but it's going to be a lot of trades to start things out. Southern Miss, with that early P2 spawn, you're going to look to get to hold that side of the map, at least in the initial time here, and that's why you're seeing number 4 on your mini map. That's going to be Nino pushing all the way through Piano. Should have 2 kills here, does get his second, now is all the way towards top office, but Bina helping it out as well, and that's going to be spawns flipped instantaneously. Huge opening break for Nicholls State.
Yeah, this is not what you want to see from Southern Miss, as they got pushed out of everything, not doing too good. Tyler and Rain still have not managed to find a kill. Tyler 0-4. I mean, it's not looking good at all. And Rain now looking to take out Craze, try and flip them for anything. We'll get traded out. Southern Miss is not playing well at all this match.
I mean, you can't say that just yet. It's 9-19, but they just did lose that P2 spawn off rip, and it was just I like the strategy as well from Nicholls State. By the way, Crazy is sitting at 6-1 at the moment. Tyler though rips a 2-piece, and he's even got a sub out right now. I don't know if that's his main weapon or not. Rain will be breaking on into the hill. Kawa now diving into the spawn. Babina and Shakesy gonna have a bit of work ahead of them. Shakesy getting a 2-piece, getting a 3-piece, nearly makes it a quad, but has to settle for 3. That's going to at least take the time away from Southern Miss for a moment. Orbsy, Kawa, Tyler working their way back into the hill. If they can pick up this scrap time, they'll be right back basically at a tied game, and then that's going to allow Southern Miss to rotate here to P3 with at least a tied ball game, maybe even a small lead, as it will be a small lead heading into the next hill. And look at number 6 on your minimap. That's Tyler all the way in P4. Huge play from Tyler, looking to get that very early rotation to that bathroom hill.
Yeah, he's trying to flip the spawns, which it could work out from, because none of Nicholls State knows where he is. And you'll see number 3 Craze spawning at Piano, and this is exactly what you want to see from the side of Southern Miss.
And something that's really small that I want to mention, Tyler originally jumped into the back spawn, knew that saw a player go around the corner, and backed away again. And he does that so he can force them to spawn there for a second time so they don't suspect a thing. And he gets those 2 kills because of it, gets them a lot of time here on P3, and didn't end up getting them the spawns immediately after, but basically has just gotten them the spawns now. Smart play, high IQ from Tyler.
Yeah. Now, so far, no one's really been able to get a good defensive position on this point. However, Southern Miss does have the advantage on this next point. I'm pretty sure it's P4, and they will manage to take it. Now, this P4 point is a little tricky. There's multiple angles that you could go at this, but really you want to push up on this right side. You'll see Tyler sitting there on that back patio, and Nicholls State will take it just like that.
I'll be honest, Southern Miss is the only team I've ever seen struggle to hold this hill. I don't know what it is. They cannot win a single gunfight when they get here, and it is one of the easiest hills to hold in the entire game. So I don't know what they're doing wrong, but it is a pure money hill on P4 Skyline, and they struggle to hold it, and they at least break back in. Now they're forcing this Nicholls State squad to spawn in the back side of the map, which is huge, but again, they get broken. I don't know what it is, but they just are incapable of holding P4 Skyline.
Yeah, this point is so easy to hold whenever you think of it, and even though they do have spawns for this next hill and for P2, they just cannot win a gunfight to save their life, as Babiana is on a 4-piece right now, and we'll get beamed out by Tyler. By the way, Tyler is having a pretty decent game, judging by the fact that they really haven't been able to win a lot of gunfights, as Craze and Shakesy are absolutely gunning out. 16 and 11 for Craze and 16 and 12 for Shakesy.
I have to point this out. Tyler doesn't have a second in hill, and if you look at the minimap, it's because of the way he's routing around this map. He is just constantly looking to get spawns, looking to hold routes. Rain with a big gunfight win there over towards Pool. Now the P1 hill is just about to end, and we're going to have ourselves a rotation to P2. Tyler on a 5 streak, so he's starting to heat up a little bit further, and that route man is trying to get himself paid, but the paycheck is just a meager, small amount at the moment. He's looking for 40 hours instead of 20, and right now you have that rotation for Nicholls State, a massive gunfight win for Bobina, gonna get Tyler taken down, and that's gonna confirm the rotation for Nicholls State. They're again gonna push a lead, but how long will this realistically stay? Rain gonna get cut down there. Tyler traded out, and so is Rain. They are just not flowing too well here, although it is a very, very close game. Kawa with a 2-piece. Orbsy going to get cut down over towards Piano. Southern Miss trying to get through the back spawn, unable to do so. They're at least forcing a couple spawn outs, but not anything too drastic, especially because they are not sitting back there.
Yeah, Tyler not jumping on up the zip just yet, is waiting. Rain will take out Babiana and Shakesy, and this might be a hill for them, but Kawa can't get the kill on Nino, and they're just gonna have to rotate to next. Orbsy playing it. I mean, they're getting absolutely shredded right now. It's insane.
Yeah, and you see number 5 there on your minimap. Rain flying into the hill. Does get initial time, but decides to try to watch the rotation through Pool. Ends up getting cut down from behind. Shakesy, though, will get a 1-for-1. Now making this hill mixy is Nicholls State. They have a 50-point lead, 52-point lead. Kawa finds a 3-piece. Rain makes it 4, but again, breaking into this hill is Nicholls State. I don't know. Southern Miss is just not holding these lanes properly. It's the critical gunfights that they're constantly losing. You're seeing 2-piece, 3-piece, 2-piece, 3-piece, 2-piece, 3-piece from Nicholls State. You cannot allow that to happen, especially on Skyline. That's a very snowball map. And you're seeing why that is the case. 178 to 108, Southern Miss are just not able to hold on to anything right now. They're getting a lot of these rotations, but they're unable to capitalize off of them. We'll see if they're able to hold this one here, though.
I not confident. Nicholls State is playing beautifully. At that P3, one of them was sitting at poolside looking at the cross, and the rest of them were sitting in the back wall. One sat on hill, perfectly protecting each other, and it doesn't matter how many people Tyler managed to shred on his way up. They are just getting absolutely destroyed.
Shakesy, huge position because now we can go for this pinch. Kawa is aware of it and wins the gunfight. That is massive to take him out of the back spawn. Sorry to cut you off there, but that was a necessary gunfight win for Kawa. That's going to confirm the last few seconds. Southern Miss have gotten themselves back into this game, but they're going to have to push through P1, get the P2 spawns, and get a good bit of time off of P1 here. And they are starting to heat up again. Kawa on a 5 spree, and now Southern Miss have an opening on the map. There's one player sitting in P1, immediately taken out by Orbsy. Trades there, but still, Southern Miss should get this initial time. I don't know how long. I know number 2 is looking to take this fight, and that's Babina over in top stairs. Traded out. Southern Miss still needs to push through the map here. We'll see. Number 3, I like this play, and that's huge. That is 3 dead for Southern Miss, and they are constantly looking for the pinches, and they are not able to hold them, but they do spawn towards P2, and I'm not 100% sure how. I think Nicholls State may have just pushed out a little too hard, and it caused a spawn out, and Southern Miss may be getting blessed a little bit here, and they're getting some of this last time. They can get all 20 of this. They will have a tied game and have the rotation for P2.
Yeah, however, you will see Craze is going secret right now, trying to wrap him.
Streak got used there, and now again getting broken on an easy setup to hold. I don't know what the problem is for Southern Miss in these easier setups, but they cannot hold them very well.
No, and it's not even like they're doing too bad in the gunfight category. I mean, They're managing to win these trades. You'll see Kawa will find 2 just right there, and they will take the hill. This will definitely catch them up, as it's going to take Nicholls State a little bit to take it. But look at this positioning here from Southern Miss. Tyler sitting on the bottom, holding anyone out. You have one sitting on hill. One is bottom piano, looking towards top, and I mean, it's just beautiful.
The pinches are just killing Southern Miss again. They at least hold a good bit of that time, take a small lead. Now 1v1, make that a 1v2 really for Orbsy. But they at least are now starting to spawn out again. You don't want to give up this time, and that's why you're seeing Southern Miss fly towards this P2 hill despite it only having like 10 seconds left, because Southern Miss are trying to keep them off of it, especially with how close this game is. But now you got to get to P3. You have flipped the spawns, but quite late into the hill, Orbsy will get a 1-for-1. Tyler will take down Nino. Now Southern Miss have a 3 dead situation. Last one, they know exactly where he's at. Shakesy isn't able to win the gunfight. Southern Miss now getting a good bit of time. They could win it right here.
Look, and Tyler playing, like you said, he's playing that positioning, sitting on the top just so he doesn't get traded out, is trying to take out that. He will take out Babiana on the cross. And did Southern Miss just randomly figure out how to play this Skyline? Because they're looking great right now. Look at Tyler's positioning. Does manage to get traded out, but I don't even think it'll matter. They just need to keep these other 2 off. Rain!
Rain pops a huge 2-piece, 246, 214. You can't win it here if you're Nicholls State. You can get close, but you need the rotation too. Kawa is holding it very well. Gets 2 of his own, 2 on the other side as well, and the rotation 1v1. Tyler wins it. The man on the routes has been getting paid so far on this map. Orbsy tries to get to this next hill, but you have 2 here. If you are Nicholls State, they are getting pinched though. Southern Miss break the hill, break the time. 2:52:31. Southern Miss 3-1 to close out split 2.
Oh my goodness. At one point, I'm pretty sure Southern Miss were 100 points down in that game.
Like 78, I think, was the biggest lead. But regardless, 78 and 100 are not 2 drastically different numbers.
No, not at all. But I mean, I don't know what's clicked in their heads in the middle of this game, but wow.
36 and 29 from Tyler, 35 and 29 from Kawa. A minute 19 from Kawa as well. 2 minutes, 59 seconds for Rain. As the good old Dan Ghosty of LA Thieves would say, hill kitten meow meow from Rain. Doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah, I mean, perfect plays. Tyler, I'll be honest, Tyler playing those positional plays is probably what ended up winning that game. Even though he had, I'm pretty sure, dead 0 hill time, just the fact that he is trying to flip them constantly flipping, playing these angles, playing these lanes, just put them over the top. And, I mean, beautiful. Nothing else to say about that.
Yeah, huge work from him, and I'd love to pull him for an interview if at all possible. That would be great to get him on while we have the chance to, because we don't really have a lot of COD matches left this semester. We are down to the regional playoffs. As the divisional final will take place here, I believe, next weekend. So Southern Miss COD will have a full week of a break and then head into regional playoffs the following week. A lot more time left to go still in our COD season. And if they can get top 8 in regional playoffs, then they can make the overall CCL playoffs. So that top 8 in the regional is going to be tough. That's going to add squads like Cumberland and UT Chat into the mix. And I think we all know how tough that is to do.
Yeah, you say UT Chat and Yokai immediately pops to mind. That guy is scary.
That guy could 1v4 roster if he felt like it. If he felt like he doesn't even have to. If he gets bored one day, he'll just go and be like, you know what? Time to 1v4. Why not? And hey, like I said, Southern Miss won the control. They were winning map 4. Look at that.
No, 100%.
That's exactly what happened. Let's go grab him. Let's go grab Tyler for an
I will go get him.
Well, while we wait, again, the Scuff Envision Pro, the Envision and the Envision Pro, brand new to the lineup of Scuff gaming controllers. Use code CollegeCOD at checkout for 15% off your order. These controllers also are, I believe, still on sale. You get yourself mechanical keys, you get yourself adaptable triggers if you get the Pro. I don't have the Pro, I have the base edition, but of course, you also get the mechanical D-pad as well. G keys 1 through 5 to program to anything you want. But come on in, Tyler. Welcome on board.
Yo,
I mean,
good. It was good.
hell of a way to come back to the roster, man. I mean,
it was.
you played week 1 and then you sat for like what 7 weeks basically,
Yeah.
and then you come back. How are you feeling after that one?
Feeling pretty good. Feeling pretty confident. It took me a little bit to get going in some of those maps. I think towards the end of that control really started going. But yeah, it feels good to get back there, out there on the stakes and play COD again.
Yes.
Especially with these guys.
So you found out probably what, like a few days ago at most, maybe a week ago, something like that, that you
Yeah.
were coming in this week.
Yeah.
What was that conversation like, and what was the mindset for you knowing you had to basically get immediately ready and get straight into a series?
Well, I mean, as far as like being a sub, I've been ready just in case things happen. I've been like playing eights with a lot of guys, and yeah, just staying ready, and then eventually, things came my way and got back in the lineup and was looking to prove something tonight.
Hey, prove something you definitely did. I mean, that especially that Skyline hardpoint, I pointed that one out specifically. The routes were incredible. It was a lot of holding spawns, a lot of, I remember one play specifically, you were going to P3 very early as it was just popped, or sorry, for P4 spawns. You popped out, saw a guy go around the corner, you went straight back to top roof, so they didn't suspect you because the spawns were still back there for them.
Yeah.
And then you get a 2-piece off of it, and you get the rotation, you get the spawns after, and I mean, just so many great plays there. But one more question for you. Now that you guys have a week off after next week, because next week will be the regional final or the conference finals for every conference. You guys are not in that, of course, based on your record, regardless of how results go for the rest of the conference today. What are you looking forward to in the regional playoffs as you got a full week to prepare?
Yeah, just honestly, just looking to get more reps in this week. Just hoping we can keep staying consistent in scrims, because scrims have been looking pretty solid. So yeah, just getting reps and then carrying the momentum from this win onto playoffs.
All right. Well, thank you for coming on. Of course. Very good interview there. It's good to have you back on as well. I appreciate it.
Of course. Appreciate you casting us.
Yeah, of course. Great stuff tonight. Great stuff. But thank you guys all for joining us. That is going to do it for us tonight at Southern Miss Esports on YouTube, Instagram, X/Twitter, same thing, Twitch and TikTok. Go down below and follow us and turn that notification bell on so you can see when we go live, because we stream a whole hell of a lot more than Call of Duty. We've got tomorrow night even Tech in Action for you. It will be me and maybe you on the I don't know. There's a lot of people that work here, so maybe we'll throw someone else in. Who knows, man? We don't have any idea what's going on at this point, but we will find things out as we go. That's why you got to follow us on those social media platforms, so you know when we know, and how you know, then we know, and then they know, and then everyone knows. Eventually, it's just a big circle of information that gets traded around.
Yep.
But that's it for tonight. Thank you guys all for watching. We'll catch you guys tomorrow night for Check-In.
And as always, Southern Miss
To the top. We'll see you guys tomorrow night.